Most conversations about how to lower cholesterol focus on your dietary intake, what you're eating, how much fat you're eating, and which foods to avoid. The elimination side of the equation, meaning how your body gets rid of excess cholesterol, is almost never discussed. And this is a problem because most of your cholesterol is made by your liver. In this video, I am going to expand that conversation. My name is Stephanie Dunn. I'm a registered dietitian and the founder of Feed Your Intention. I guide women to nourish their wellness and reclaim their wholeness. And today I want to talk about, number one, why elimination of excess cholesterol is just as important to discuss as your intake. Number two, how your body eliminates excess cholesterol. And number three, what you can do about it. You are probably not aware that the vast majority of the cholesterol in your body is actually made by your liver. Only about 20% of the cholesterol in your body comes from the food that you eat. The rest of it is made by your liver because cholesterol is an essential part of health and well-being. It is literally in the membrane of every single cell in your body, providing structure. It is also the basis from which the liver creates progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, and vitamin D. So it is a necessary part of your body, and that is why the liver makes it. However, that doesn't change that when you have too much cholesterol in your body, we need to find a way to get rid of it. But this balance between dietary intake and how much your body makes means that how efficiently your body gets out the excess cholesterol matters at least as much as how much comes in through the food that you're eating. There are three pathways by which cholesterol leaves the body and enters the gut, because your intestines are the way that your body eliminates excess cholesterol, in addition to lots of other things that get eliminated that way. The first one is that your body uses cholesterol to create bile acids, specifically your liver does. It creates these bile acids and then excretes them into the intestines, which help with the digestion and absorption of dietary fats. When the liver excretes those bile acids into the intestines, it is essentially putting cholesterol into the intestines. The second way that cholesterol gets into the gut is that your intestinal cells actually have the ability to absorb cholesterol from the bloodstream and then put that cholesterol into the intestines. This is actually a very new area of research, but it's very exciting. The pathway is called TICE, transintestinal cholesterol elimination. And the research seems to suggest that up to 35% of the cholesterol in the bowel that is actually being eliminated with the bowel movement is from this TICE pathway. So that is the second way that the body can put cholesterol into the intestines. The third is that your body does not absorb all of the cholesterol that you eat. Somewhere between 20 and 80% of the cholesterol that you eat actually gets absorbed into the body. So through various signaling pathways, the intestines decide whether or not to absorb the cholesterol that you have eaten that is in the intestine. So in those three ways, the body is able to put either bile acids, which come from cholesterol, or cholesterol itself into the intestine, and then they can be eliminated from the body entirely through a bowel movement. So why does regular elimination matter? Well, when we do not eliminate things from the body, in this situation specifically cholesterol, when it stays in the large intestine, it can actually be reabsorbed and it can be reused by the body. The most obvious example of this is bile acids. The liver makes the bile acids, it excretes them into the intestine. They travel down to help with fat digestion and absorption, but they can actually be reabsorbed, sent back to the liver, and reused for the next digestive process in which fat is part of the food that has been eaten. But if we eliminate those bile acids from the bowel before they can get reabsorbed, then the liver has to create new bile acids from cholesterol that's already in the body. Now, when we don't poop every single day, that reabsorption is more likely. So, longer gut transit time, meaning if it takes longer for things to move fully through your digestive tract and leave the body through a bowel movement, the more likely it is that that cholesterol and those bile acids are going to be reabsorbed. The second thing is that when we have an unhealthy balance within the gut microbiome, meaning that the bacteria in our guts can actually contribute to how much cholesterol or bile acids we absorb, then that unhealthy balance of the gut microbiome also influences how much cholesterol gets reabsorbed into the body. The third one, as I mentioned, is that when the bile acids are carried out of the body, as I mentioned, the liver has to use new cholesterol in order to create new bile acids. So the liver has two options of what to do with cholesterol in the body. Okay, well, more than that, but for this part of the discussion, there are only two that matter. The first one is that it can use it to create bile acids, or it can package it up into LDL and send it out into the body to be used by other parts of the body. When the liver is using the cholesterol itself to create new bile acids, it is not going to package it up and put it out into the bloodstream in LDL, and that directly makes LDL levels go down. I remember when I learned about this when I was doing my master's degree in nutrition, because I finally understood why Cheerios actually help lower cholesterol, and I went into my professor so excited about it. He was a little shocked because he said he didn't even assign that part of the reading, but I just love this stuff so much that I read extra. Anyway, back to the conversation about cholesterol and your poop. So because of those things, regular bowel movements both get rid of excess cholesterol and force the liver to use more cholesterol than it would normally to create more bile acids. This is where things get a little bit interesting for us women who are in midlife. In perimenopause and menopause, the hormone changes that we experience can affect our gut motility, meaning that our digestive tract slows down. When this happens, constipation becomes a more common thing, and the cholesterol that our body was trying to eliminate is more likely to be reabsorbed. As well, in midlife, our gut microbiome just starts to shift in ways that affect bile acid metabolism specifically, and more bile acids are likely to be reabsorbed. Our body is also not using cholesterol to make estrogen and progesterone the way it used to, and our blood sugar levels are affected by our hormonal changes, which can also contribute to cholesterol changes. Now, for more on that specific aspect, check out my video from last week because I explain it in its entirety. Because of these changes with perimenopause and menopause, the gut cholesterol connection becomes more relevant, not less, as we women age into our middle years. Now, what can you do about it now that you understand how it all works? Number one, increase your intake of soluble fiber. Soluble fiber binds to cholesterol like a sponge, holding on to it the way a sponge would hold on to water. This helps prevent the cholesterol from being reabsorbed, and it helps to make bowel movements more consistent and easier to pass. This is one of the most well-supported natural interventions for reducing your LDL cholesterol. Unfortunately, most women are only getting about 15 grams of fiber each day when the minimum recommended amount is 25 grams per day. By increasing your intake of soluble fiber foods such as oats, legumes, fruits, and vegetables, you are increasing the number of these cholesterol sponges in your intestines. Now, of course, you must also be sure that you are consuming enough water, which is the second thing that you can do. Dehydration plus more fiber actually means more constipation, not less. So as you increase your fiber intake, do it slowly so that your body has time to adjust, but also be sure that you are getting enough water so that the bowel movement actually occurs. I hope you now understand how fiber and regular bowel movements are connected to healthy cholesterol levels and how they are just as important as what you are eating. Of course, this is just one part of a complete approach. They are definitely not the whole picture. The complete roadmap to moving your cholesterol numbers back into that healthy, heart protective place is what my course, Lowering Your Cholesterol Naturally, is all about. If you want to join the waitlist and be informed when the course gets launched, you can click the link in the description or in the pinned comment. That's all for now. I wish you wellness and wholeness.